And so I just wanted to introduce obesity. And this is going to be an example of behavior and how economics might tell you a bit about, give you some insights into human behavior. And, well, that's the key message is this. Technology is fattening. Now, Japan is not the country probably to come and talk about obesity. I've noticed some people in this, they probably didn't come from Japan. I've noticed some people in the street who look on the larger side, but most people in Japan are very regular and actually to Western European appear not quite malnourished, but healthy, shall we say. But I guess even in Japan, probably obesity is an increasing problem. Nothing like the scale of problem it is in countries like England or United States or Mexico, but an increasing problem. Now, there's huge popularity in most of the world for all sorts of diets and things like that. You know, these ones where you eat 3 days and don't eat for 2 days. I'm not sure it's 2 days in a row, but you know, you have sequences of eating days, not eating days. You have these diets where you don't eat any meat or something, or these diets where you only eat meat, you don't have carbohydrates, etc. You've got all sorts of different diets. And then people do engage in these diets and almost always fail. If they make any progress, it all disappears. And this is true not just in our informal approach towards dieting. If you have a healthcare program where you're counseling individuals about diet and you're trying to help them control their intake and make progress, time and time again, yes, they'll lose weight and the BMI will start coming down, but over time it goes back up. They sort of rebound. And you can't help feeling, oh, it's sort of lack of willpower. You know, is there any need, you know, to have that extra bowl of, I don't know, ramen or something? Well, the ramen's not very fattening, is it? So that's not a good example. We love something in England called chips or fried potatoes. Fried potatoes. I know the rest of the world thinks of chips as what we call crisps. It's complicated, but chips are to us seen as very attractive. Potatoes deep fried, and we love these things. And people have this inner tussle, or cakes, or biscuits, or chocolate, and there's or ice cream, and they sort of, oh, I mustn't have that, I mustn't have that, and then they give in and they have it, and they feel bad about themselves. Well, I bring you good news. It's not poor willpower that's making us fat. It's technology. We are not bad people. Again, the we is not, it's all these other people that who are a bit, even higher BMI than I am. It's technology, and let me explain this to you. Technology has altered the relative prices of consuming calories and expending calories. So for example, if we think of consuming calories, that's eating, over the last 250 years, agricultural innovation has lowered the price of food. So the sacrifices we have to make in terms of, say, working time, etc., in order to get food, have gone right down. So if you like, the price per calorie is going down and down, largely as a result of agricultural innovation. And of course, one of the lessons in economics is if the price of something goes down, the demand will go up. Not only that, technological innovation has changed the nature of work. When work was hard physically, when it was strenuous, workers were essentially being paid to exercise. They wouldn't see it that way. The person paying them wasn't saying, I'm paying you to exercise. The person doing the hard work didn't think, oh, this is good, I'm being paid to exercise. But that's what was happening. The nature of work, physical labour, was that you were being paid and you were getting exercise. Now, that doesn't happen very much. We sit largely at a desk in front of a computer screen for hours on end, and what's getting exercise is the sort of right hand or left, I never learnt to type with both hands. That's getting exercise. So now, if I want exercise, I've got to pay for the exercise. I've got to find the time, pay the gym membership, or buy the bicycle, get out on the road. I've got to do that. Whereas in the past, a lot of jobs involved physical labour, and so you've got the exercise as a byproduct, shall we say. It's also the case that technological change has reduced the time costs of food preparation. Now, I think it's a bit a man talking to a predominantly female audience, saying how it's reduced the time costs of food preparation. It might sound a little bit funny because of sex roles in food preparation. Most men haven't had to suffer the burden of food preparation. But if you go over time, if you go back 100 years and then compare the technology available to man or woman in order to prepare food, it's been completely transformed. Think, for example, of things like food processors or food mixers. I'm sure you all have at some point, tried to whip cream just using a fork and your wrist action. Now, after about 10 minutes, the wrist's getting quite tired, and the cream is just beginning to sort of show little peaks. Well, technology, of course, you just go and you've done it instantly. Similarly, think of microwaves and so on. Think of deep freezers. So we can now produce large quantities of food and freeze what we don't eat just now. All of these things, just refrigerators, keeping food fresh for longer. This has all reduced the time costs of food preparation. And so it's another technological pressure making it easier and easier for us, the cost in terms of time or money, to consume food, consume calories, is going down and down and down. So as economically rational individuals, we're responding to this incentive, and we're eating more and we're getting fat. But it's not lack of willpower. It's not that we're bad people. Technology's to blame. And a little bit of lack of willpower. Let's not exonerate us too much.